Alright, so this is my third time trying to make this reference video for you guys, so take 3. In today's reference, we're going to be looking at similar figures and using their properties to find missing side lengths, scale factors, and their different angles. So the first thing I want you to do, just so we can do our scale factor more easily, write this down as your new triangle and this one as your old triangle. Okay, so in our first part of our example here, they want us to find the missing side length DE. So I'm going to highlight this as DE. So what you have to do is set up a proportion. To set up the proportion, you'll put an equals, and a line, and a line. And basically, if you look, this triangle is a tough one to start off with. So to see the orientation of this, you almost have to kind of rotate it here. And that doesn't look exactly right, and then you actually have to reflect it. So the true orientation, so it's a rotation, and then you kind of have to reflect it, looks like this. So now that you see it correctly, the similar figures, you can almost match up the corresponding side lengths. So you can see here that this 2, although it's upside down and backwards, goes to 6. So I'll write 2 corresponds to 6, and you can see here 3 corresponds to x. So now you have your proportion, and again, if you think back to the Maria video, she just did one triangle at a time. 2 goes to 3 should equal 6 going to x, and you got to keep that order straight. So now to solve the actual proportion, I'm going to give you 2 different methods. If possible, and you can just use equivalent fractions or the scale factor, you can see that 2 times 3 is 6, so 3 times 3 is 9, so x must be 9. Or, because you're going to need this method because it's not always that easy, when you do it here, you might have to, sorry, that's an x, you're going to have to cross multiply and divide. So 2 times x is 2x, 3 times 6 is 18, and then divide by 2, cross multiply and divide, you get x equals 9. So in either case, you figure out that x equals 9, so the length from D to E is 9. The next part is for scale factor. And scale factor you want to do, just like we learned in transformations way back in September, you have to do the new side length divided by the old side length. And it can be any side length you choose from your similar figures. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the new 6, again, new 6 corresponds to the old 2. So 6 divided by 2, I'll write that down here, 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Could have also done the new 9 corresponds to the old 3, so 9 divided by 3 is also 3. All right, so scale factor is equal to 3. And lastly, the angles. The angles of similar figures are always the same. So really, you just have to match up the corresponding angles. So if we go back to our example here, you can see A goes to 37. So that A goes to that 37. This tip C goes to 101. And that B goes to that 42. So I'm going to put B is 42, C is 101, and the A is 37 degrees. So it looks like that for your angles. Again, A is 37, B is 42, and C is 101. Again, that's how you find missing side length, by setting up a proportion, either multiplying or cross multiplying and dividing. You can still get the scale factor, and all the angles they don't change from one figure to another, so you just have to match them all up. Hope that helps you, and we'll try example B.